Ooh, what's up, everybody? My name is OMG, WTF, Welcome back to WWE vs. TEW, the not-so-weekly series. We take the events that the WWE books and runs and book them in the game to see just how well WWE does against TEW, or Total Extreme Wrestling will be the company that brings the WWE down to its knees. Today, we are booking the final 205 Live of August, the edition of 205 Live that was main evented by Buddy Murphy and Kalisto. One hell of a match. If you haven't seen that match, definitely do yourself a favor. Check that match out because, in fact, you guys got to start checking out 205 Live if you're not. There's a reason why I was like, okay, I'm going to do 205 Live in this series before I said NXT or anything. Is because I've been watching 205 Live ever since Triple H has taken over it pretty much. And I've got to say, guys, it's good stuff. Give it a check out if you haven't. It's definitely better than what's going on in NXT, if you ask me. Sure, NXT's got their excellent pay-per-views, but their weekly events, And it's definitely better than main event, I'll tell you that, or Superstars, or whatever the hell's on. So do yourselves a favor. Seek out Buddy Murphy versus Kalisto, and if you've got time, watch 205 Live. And I'd like to thank all four of you who are watching with me today, because I joke, I kid. Last 205 Live video only got like 4 views. I think it's up now, but before I was like, wow, 4 views? Damn, 205 Live is really not popular. Nonetheless, though, I kid. Let's jump right in. Let's make quick work of this. It is 205 Live. It's been weeks since I've actually seen this episode, so I can't quote everything. This is the third video of the day, most likely the last video, or least likely of all the 3 to get as many views. I don't know what I'm rambling on about. I'm tired. Let's get through this. 38 D- rating for our 205 Live cold open as the GM Drake Maverick himself hypes up what we'll be seeing tonight as he hypes up, or recaps, I should say, last week when Brian Kendrick and Gentleman Jack Gallagher jumped Akira Tozawa before his match against Colin Delaney. And then, of course, the Kalisto versus Buddy Murphy match to take place later on tonight. I made this a major segment. That is my apologies, or I guess my bad, as R Truth would say it, because they went ahead and progressed some storylines. Now, nothing too bad, but still, I didn't mean for that to happen. 37 D- rating as Kalisto versus Buddy Murphy is hyped for tonight, of course. And then before the opening match of the night, the Brian Kendrick and Gentleman Jack Gallagher cut a quick promo on Akira Tozawa, pretty much expressing that their attack last week was nothing personal, it was just business. And Tozawa just so happened to be in the right or the wrong place at the wrong time. 45 solid D for the promo. Gained some heat for the storyline we got going on here. I think they're starting a storyline between Tozawa and these two, but I could be wrong. But if there is, I can just end it, So the opening match of the night gets a 50 D+ rating here, in a bout that had subpar wrestling and little heat to it. Akira Tozawa goes over Brian Kendrick in 7 minutes 50 seconds with the bridging German suplex. Gentleman Jack Gallagher distracting Tozawa during the match, but it did not help because Akira Tozawa is still able to pick up the victory here tonight. Much needed momentum from Tozawa, as he was used to pretty much help put over Lio Rush a little while back. So there you have that. Brian Kendrick with an in-ring performance of a 48, Akira Tozawa with a 43, gaining heat for the feud as well. Pretty good match, if I do say so myself. Pretty, hits the halfway point, the 50, but at the same time, usually these matches are E's and sometimes D-minuses, so good match for 205 Live. There's that E I was telling you guys about. 32 E+, as we get a look back on the feud between the Lucha House Party and the team of Tony Nese and Buddy Murphy. Recapping, of course, everything that's happened between these two teams as we get ready for our main event tonight. 42 solid D rating as Kayla Braxton is backstage and she interviews Buddy Murphy on the topic of Kalisto. Not exactly sure if I remember what Buddy Murphy said, so it's probably pretty generic. 31 E+ rating here. Apparently, oh god, I gotta change that. It's another thing we gotta change. Tommy speaks the English. Thank you. Okay. 31 E plus rating here. Although, I mean, maybe he speaks maybe passable. Maybe that's the problem because I do think maybe he speaks passable in the save too. But nah, I think he's fine. I'll change it probably. He pretty much just expresses how he feels sorry for what he did to Mustafa Ali when he really just doesn't. 31 E plus there. Apparently the you know language barrier doesn't help. Does gain heat for the feud, but oh boy, this is gonna go over bad. Well, better out than in is what I always say. That made no sense. It's a quote from Shrek. Whatever. I don't know why I said it. Complete the turn. Wow, his legend gimmick got a rating of great. That's awesome. But on the other hand, his turn was completely compromised because we had too many shock turns. Well, it's not my fault. Well, it is, actually. But who cares? Gained heat for the storyline, though. That's good, I guess. 93 solid A rating here. We get a next time on John Cena and Friends, just pretty much highlighting what's going to be taking place on the next episode of John Cena and Friends. Remember, we got a brawl on our hands, and it's happening next week. And then finally, oh, I almost said main event time. This was not the main event. But if you follow me on Twitter, so that's your cue to go to Twitter and follow me at OMGWTFLOFTWBRB because I'm totally active and tweet all the time. Not. But if you do follow me on Twitter, I sent out the rare tweet today of Hideo Itami and showing off pretty much what I had to do to get him to be okay with this matchup here because this right here is a match with a local talent known as Michael Blaze. Oh, man. I forgot to write down his name. I don't have his name. I don't know who this is, and that's my bad, guys. I usually love to tell you guys who these guys are to give a little bit of like highlight on some maybe unknown guys, but I forgot to write down the name. That's my bad. But nonetheless, he's taking on a local talent, Michael Blaze. Terrible wrestling, non-existent crowd heat. They ended up going to like a draw, apparently. Not really a draw, but it's a sports entertainment finish, as you can see in my road agent notes. Sports entertainment finish, which means the match pretty much ends with outside interference with really no official end. And that's exactly how this match ended. There was no bell, no pinfall, no nothing. Mustafa Ali's music hits. The guy was out of the ring, and Hideo Itami just kind of left. So, like I said, there was no count out. There was no nothing. And even if there was a count out, that would have even probably gone over worse. So, yeah. What I had to pretty much do in here is I had to I'm surprised it doesn't show it. You can definitely check my Twitter because I definitely put it on the picture on there and it definitely shows all three. So maybe that's proof that TEW doesn't put everything in there. That's interesting. But we had wow, it doesn't even show the protected one too. I had to use all three, pretty much, is what I'm saying. It's not showing it for some reason, but he was not just kept strong. I had to have Hideo Itami be, dominate. He had to be kept strong, and he had to be protected for him to not be furious with this match, pretty much. And I just thought that was incredible because I've never had to use all three to get someone to be happy. There's been times where I've used all three and they weren't happy still, but never actually got them to be happy. So that was just incredible to me. Not sure why it doesn't show it here, but still. Even though it says, it descended into chaos after Ali got involved, Mustafa Ali never hit Hideo Itami. There was never any interaction between the two. His music just hit and he started heading down to the ring. And as we'll see in the next angle, Hideo Itami left the ring before Mustafa can even get there. Michael Blaze with an in-ring performance of a 21. That's actually not too bad if you consider his popularity. Hideo Itami with a 55, gaining heat for the feud between him and Ali as well. Cool in the crowd, though. Hideo Itami is improving in his performance, and Michael Blaze makes the best of his appearance here tonight, improving his rumble, flying, and performance skills. Good for you, kid. And then afterwards, like I mentioned earlier or in the previous segment, afterwards, Mustafa Ali starts walking towards the ring to, pretty much fight with Hideo Itami after what he did to him, pretty much tried to end his career. But Hideo Itami leaves through the crowd, not wanting to deal with this stuff right now. So he gets out of there before Ali can even get in the ring in time. 39 D minus for this. Tommy's getting better at his gimmick. Good stuff all around. 41 solid D rating as we get a recap of Drew Gulak's response and actions from last week after being told he will not be granted his title rematch from Drake Maverick. So this is like the Akira Tozawa Colin Delaney thing where they attacked and then Drew Gulak kind of coaxed Cedric Alexander out to the ring before leaving. Before Alexander just kind of, where you going? I thought you wanted the fight. Obviously playing his mind games. And then afterwards, a 43 solid D as Cedric Alexander goes on to call Drew Gulak a hypocrite. I don't really remember why he's calling him a hypocrite. I'd imagine he'd call him more of a coward than a hypocrite, but maybe he's calling him a hypocrite because, he says that Cedric's not willing to fight, and then when Cedric was willing to fight, Drew walked away. But I don't remember exactly. But he goes on to make him a promise that, the next time they do battle, Alexander will still be the Cruiserweight champion afterwards or whatever. 43 solid D, generic promo, but got him the main points. 37 D minus as we see Gran Metalik and Lince Dorado, the Lucha House Party, psyching up Kalisto for his upcoming match against Buddy Murphy. And it is indeed. Wow, this match sucked. Main event time. Okay, we got to increase Buddy Murphy's stamina, so let's go ahead and make a note of that right now. Okay. So it is main event time. 34 E+ rating here and a terrible matchup. Buddy Murphy goes over Kalisto in 18 minutes, 52 seconds with the Silver Breaker. Not sure what that is. A lot of interference in this matchup. Tony Nese going after Kalisto. Lince Dorado and Gran Metalik distracting Buddy Murphy throughout the match. Like I said, this match was actually really good. Don't let Total Extreme Wrestling lie to you. This match was not no 34 E+. It definitely was better than Akira Tozawa and Brian Kendrick. But that's just how it works sometimes with these two guys. I mean, Murphy's not over. With that being said, though, I really recommend you guys checking this match out. It was really good. These guys stole the show. This feud is... Buddy Murphy's really been good ever since he's been called up to the 205 roster, by the way. But at the end of the day, Murphy does get the victory. He pins Kalisto. And I'm not sure if that's going to end the feud, but I have the feeling that the feud is over. I won't end it just yet until I see a new feud start. But I'm pretty sure this is the end. Buddy Murphy was visibly tiring towards the end, so we'll have to edit his stamina. That's something that we'll have to fix when we see it. Tony Nese doing some good work ringside, so that's good. Dragging in the middle with the lack of flow being noticeable, that's a shame. Did cool the crowd a little bit as well, that's also a shame. Buddy Murphy with an in-ring performance of a 36. Kalisto with a 44. Lost heat for the feud. And Kalisto is improving in performance. So definitely not a good match. Definitely not a good way to end off the show. But in real life, definitely a good match. Definitely a good way to end off the show. And you definitely should check it out. 52 D+ for this edition of NXT. Not NXT. 205 Live. I said NXT because I was going to announce, if you didn't watch the previous videos and you just so happen to only check out 205 Live, there won't be an NXT. I still have to wait for Pete Dunne's contract to start, and Pete Dunne is in the main event of this week's NXT. So there is no way. I couldn't even cheat the game and bring him over to the Southeast and just hire him from one night because he's technically under contract with me. I just can't use him until his 7 days are up, pretty much. So we just got to wait for that to happen, and then we can start NXT. So once Pete Dunne's under contract, everything else should be good from there. The only problem that NXT might present is a lot of the unknown names that get used for, because they're in the developmental system. So when that happens, I'll just probably have to use local talent or whatnot. But with that being said, that is going to be the end of this episode. Actually, the end of this week. Again, I appreciate all of you guys who have stuck around, watched all 3 videos, Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live. I will definitely be back tomorrow, Tuesday, with another edition of Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live, and probably NXT, because I think the 7 days will be up by then. So, week of WWE versus TEW will be continuing. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, to my surprise, do me a favor, comment, like, subscribe, and as always, my name is OMG WTF LOLTWBRB. I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.